Hi, everyone. I'm Colleen. I received a message today that there's a message coming in for you. So I'm just going to center my energy and see who's coming in to talk to you today. Hello, everyone. This is Big Bertha. Thank you for joining me. It's been a while since I've had a message for you. We've been focusing on the messages from the Council of Trust, but today I have some very important information for you as we move into the energies of May and June. It is important that you focus your light and focus on the light within yourself. As the energies are coming in that are moving humanity forward, there's a lot of movement happening in your energetic core, that core of light that runs down the center of your human body and holds much information about you, holds a whole lot of light and love energy and your past self information and future information about what's on the way for you. This core of light is expanding. Can you feel it? This is why the Council of Trust gave you those two exercises focusing on your core of light and your outer love energy body. It is part of the expansion process that is happening right now for your core of light to be clearing and growing and expanding to become a larger part of your physical body. As this happens, your love energy body merges with that core of light just gradually on a gradual process. And as this happens, this will elevate you to a state where you can bring more and more love energy and magic into your life. The energies that have been coming in recently are the energies of magic and awe, directly from the home of magic and awe in the all that is. As these energies flood the planet, you can tap into them and bring more and more magic into your life. How do I do this, you may ask? You will feel the difference as soon as you start focusing on bringing light to every single aspect of your life. Lightworkers on the leading edge are doing the work and are expanding and clearing their karma and growing and bringing in more and more energy. But they also tend to separate the areas of their life and have areas going on where you're not spending a lot of time bringing light to that situation, person, job, living situation, any of it, whatever it is that you find is the area of your life where you are operating from your brain, operating from logic and analysis and reactivity, or processing emotions like anger and frustration, or feeling really busy, or feeling that you wish the situation was different. So we're going to focus on those areas of your life because you're doing a great job on the areas of researching spiritual information, integrating that spiritual information when you are focused on being a spiritual being. But it is time for you to merge those two worlds, to bring together your earthly life and your spiritual life. You may notice this happening on its own. You may notice an impulse to speak more from your spiritual teachings and integrations when in your job or with people who are not on the spiritual path or not as advanced on the spiritual path as you are. But the more you focus on doing this, bring light into the grocery store with you, bring light into that work meeting with you, bring light into that conversation with that family member who may not be doing things in a way that is comfortable for you. Bring light into that before you speak, before you enter the room, before you involve yourself in earthly proceedings. So, you can do a very quick practice just before you enter a situation, or while in the middle of a situation and realizing that you may not be approaching it from a spiritual perspective, from the highest perspective that you could be approaching it from. And this is not easy, but your path has not been easy. And as you move forward on your path, this is the point, is to bring your spirituality into the earthly life that you chose to live in this incarnation. Everything you encounter in your earthly life is part of your path. And sometimes it can be hard to hear that because there are things that are difficult to navigate on your path, illness as well, and situations that seem to untether you or leave you not quite knowing what's going on, losing a job or losing a relationship or having a death of a loved one, or many, many other earthly situations that feel like a loss, that feel like not part of your spiritual path. They are. They are part of your spiritual path. It all is your path. And as you move closer and closer to your great awakening, closer and closer to the time when the light floods the planet and you can open yourself to higher realms, to higher knowledge, to more connection with the other side of awareness. As this happens, it is very important that you take the teachings that you have learned and integrate them into the most difficult parts of your life. So as you step into a room or begin a conversation, or in the middle of the conversation, if you've forgotten to do this, just center yourself and recognize your core of light. Let's do it now. Just start breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Recognize, acknowledge the core of light that resides within you. Breathe. Now, take the energy of that core of light and expand it out into your love energy body. Just focus on pushing the light out from you, out to others, out to the situation, out to the building, out to the illness or diagnosis, whatever it is that you are going through. Bring it out. And remember just for a second that this is your path. That for some reason, the situation that you are facing is one that needs your light. And that's it. Proceed with your day. Walk into the meeting. Go into the conversation. Whatever it is, look for the new place to live. Whatever it is that's happening in your life. As you begin to remember to do this function, to just bring the light to the situations that you may not want to bring light to, you will notice a shift. You will notice, for one thing, it's easier for you to handle what's going on. You will find a better centering of peace. And you may notice a change in those around you, in others involved in the situation. You may notice, not that they're going to have a spiritual awakening right there in front of you, although if they do, you're there to help them. However, I just mean that you may notice that the conversations become easier. And that is because as you spread your light into the situation, the light of the situation will come back toward you. And you will see it eventually in a different perspective, a better perspective. This is the first step or phase or first action of bringing magic into your life. You are pushing magic out of your body and sprinkling it on all of the situations of your earthly life. This is the beginning of manifestation abilities. It's the beginning of abilities to connect with people in a different way. As you begin to bring your light into those situations, you will notice an ability to manipulate what's going on. You can set an intention before you head into a viewing for a new home, a medical diagnosis, a job interview, a conversation with somebody over something that may end up in conflict. Set an intention before you head into it that this is going to bring the highest good for all, that this is going to embody as much light as possible. And you will see the difference as you head into these situations. This is an ongoing process. It is a growth process. You have done the research. You have watched the videos, read the books, done the exercises, joined the groups. And I'm not saying don't join the groups or stop watching videos. I'm saying spend more of your time integrating these practices into your earthly life. You came here to experience this life. So experience this life and all that it has to offer in the way of experience. When you have ascended and you have access to the other side of awareness and you are running around with us doing angel things on the other side of awareness, when that has happened and you come back to your earthly life, because you will have the ability to go back and forth, when you come back to your earthly life, it will not be the same. You will not experience it in the same way, and you will miss it. You will. And that can be hard to believe right now when you are in your earthly life only, when you are experiencing it without all of the awareness of what is really going on. But believe me, it will not be the same. And the more that you can bring to the experience while you are still fully living your earthly life, while the veil is still your personal veil in front of you, not allowing you to see the other side of awareness. The more that you can change your perceptions, the more magic and awe you can bring into your life. And you will start to receive messages, nudges, information that will move you forward toward your gifts. And you can use them while you are still embodying your earthly life. And then, when you have had your great awakening, the abilities that you have developed while in your earthly state will be the most powerful gifts once you are remembering who you truly are. Have fun with it. Bring the energy of joy to these situations and meetings and house viewings and job interviews and medical diagnoses. Bring the energy of magic and joy and light to these situations. And you will see the path will become easier. Thank you. Well, that's interesting. Big Birtha came back. So she's been here all along and she's been talking to me and she's been doing readings with me for my Patreon group and things like that. But she hasn't been coming forward in the videos. She has been stepping back and letting the Council of Trust speak to you. But she wanted to bring this message today. And she told me that it was very important. And, you know, it's interesting because I have been nudged lately to do things like this. I have been feeling, so I've been doing I don't always do all the exercises that everybody gives us because there's just too many of them, but I kind of embody the concepts into my life. But the Council of Trust exercise, the 30-second breathing where you recognize your core and then recognize your outer body. I'll put a link to it at the end. When I've been doing those, so they're 30 seconds long. So I've been managing to integrate those into my life, and I still have the alarm set on my phone most days. And when I do it now, I noticed that my core of light just feels a little bigger. It feels like it used to run down, just the very center of my body like that. And now, like, it feels like it's more of me. I don't know. And the part about pushing out your love energy body, when I do that, it gets more and more like expansive. And I can really feel it. And I didn't used to be able to feel stuff like that. So for those of you who have talked about not feeling anything, which is, still on the path, they say that intention is the key. And as long as you're doing it, even if you don't think that you're feeling it. But I think if you stick with it and go back to the practice or continue the practice, that's what she's saying, is that like it's happening for everyone. And they keep talking to me about, like, they're just whispering to me as I'm watching these conversations in my Patreon group and in the comments on YouTube and the WhatsApp groups that I'm in. I'm getting a lot of messages to sort of steer my part of the conversation away from research and over to earthly light. Like, I mean, my channel is called Colleen Walks the Talk. So it's about walking the talk. I'm becoming more and more of an ambassador for walking the talk sort of thing. And I think that, well, what she's saying is that this is going to happen to all of us. Like, we're all expanding as we're absorbing more light. And as this magic and awe light is coming in, I love that, because I'm just waiting for the magic. I can manifest, parking spots and like reasonable amounts of money and just little things like unexpected income. And what else can I manifest? I can manifest making a meeting better, making a situation better. I've been doing a little bit of that. I work from home, so it's Zoom meetings for me. But I've done it. I've just looked all around, especially a couple times, like, things were getting a little tense with whatever was being talked about. And I just kind of looked around the screen and, sent some light to everybody. And this is something I've been guided to do. So I gather that was Big Birtha guiding me to do it before she gave you the message so that I could talk to you about it. And when I did that, at least my experience with what was going on in the meeting changed, right? Like, what's going on inside of me changed and relaxed and brought more peace to my being. And so then my perception of what was going on, I wasn't as tied into the tension, and everything just sort of, I don't know, got more calm in the meeting. So I've had a few experiences with this. Oh, and my grandson, I've done it a couple times. He's 4. There are meltdowns and I don't want to go to bed moments and things like that. And my daughter's living here with me right now with my grandson. And so he didn't want to go to bed the other night. And I just sat there, and my daughter's wonderful. She's a great parent, and she also has education in working with children. And so she knows how to handle it and everything. But you can hear, like, I know her, so I could hear her voice getting a little tense, when you're trying to put them to bed. And I just sat on the couch in the living room and just flooded light into the room. And it was like 5 seconds later, it all went quiet and he fell asleep. So I don't know. You could say that it just happened, but I think that it affected it, that I was sending all that love energy into the room to help them. Something that I'm going to start doing more of it for is, I have arthritis stuff and chronic pain. It's why I work from home. It's a medical accommodation. And I have all of this pain in all these different parts of my body, and I manage it really well, but I can't say that I have integrated considering that part of my spiritual life. And you are watching me kind of think of it or remember that I need to do that. I am going to start sending love energy to my pain points, and to this life that I live that has mobility limitations. Not no mobility, like I make the best of it. I seek my joy, but there are limitations. And so I am going to start just consciously sending love energy to my body and see what happens with that. So I'll report back later. So that's what she's talking about. And she's really been on this phase of like walking the talk, like bringing everything into your earthly life, because we're spending a lot of time. I used to spend a lot of time like up here, like just in concepts and dreaming and thinking about spirituality and not like so much putting it into practice in my real life. And so that's what they're telling us now, is that we really need to do that, because that's what we came here to do. That is looking to the light. That is walking the talk, right? Walking through your earthly life using the stuff that you've learned from videos like this and from all of the other sources that you tap into to get information. So enough about me. What about you? What do you think? Are you doing that already? Are you walking into meetings and house viewings, bringing in the light? Or are you, sort of separating when you're doing your spiritual stuff and then when you're doing your earthly stuff? Let me know in the comments. I really love all the chatter in the comments, and you guys answer each other. And that's how I ended up having a Patreon group, is because everybody was answering each other. And so I just started a group. You can come over and check it out if you want. There's always a link at the end of my videos, and you can join for free and check it out. And I have this beautiful group that supports each other. But you guys do it in the comments on the YouTube videos as well. So let's have a conversation about this, about bringing light into our 3D or earthly life, and about the energy of magic and awe coming in. Thanks very much for joining me. We'll see you soon.